Greetings students, I am A.Isai Selvaperumal, Assistant Professor, Department of Visual Communication, Bishop Keeper College. Now we are going to see the topic communication. Communication is the process of exchanging informations, ideas, feelings between individuals or groups. This can be done through various means such as speaking, writing, in using other mediums like gestures, signals and digital platforms. Transmission of information, sharing data, thoughts, messages from one person to another. Medium, utilizing different mediums or channels like verbal, that means spoken words, non-verbal, that means body language, facial expressions, written, that means emails and letters, and digital platforms like social media and messaging applications. Purpose, what is the purpose of communication? Aiming to inform, persuade, entertain and building relationships. Feedback is receiving responses from the receiver to the sender. Receiving responses or reactions from the receiver which helps to the understanding. Elements of communication. Communication is the process of sharing information, ideas, feelings and thoughts from one person to another. I already tell you. This process involves several key elements. What are the key elements? First one is sender and another one is message, channel and receiver. Sender create a message sent through a channel to the receiver. Receiver receives the message and then reply to the sender. This is the process of communication. Sender, the person who initiates the message. Message, the information, ideas, feelings, thoughts that is being communicated. Channel, the medium through which message is sent to the receiver. Receiver, a person who receives the message or understand the message. Feedback, feedback is a response of the receiver. Context, the environment or situation which the communication takes place. Noise is a disturbance or block in the communication process which may occur in channels, that is called as channel noise. Process of communication, see the chart. Sender, message, channel, receiver. The receiver replies to the sender, it comes to the center. This is called feedback. Communication is essential for various reasons. Information sharing, relationship building, emotional expression, persuasion and influence and so on. Information sharing, it allows us to exchange knowledge, ideas and data which is crucial for decision making and problem solving. Relationship building, effective communications helps create relationship between individuals or groups. Emotional expressions, it provides a way to express their feelings to others or receive the thoughts or feelings to the others. Persuasion and influence, communication is a key element to persuade others or influence others and influencing their attitudes, behaviors, whether in personal or professional content. Scope of communication. What is the scope of communication? The scope of communication is vast and encompasses various domains and contexts including interpersonal communication, organizational communication, mass communication and so on. So first one is interaction between the individuals such as conversation between friends, family and other members. Organizational communication, communication within or between organizations, that is called organizational communication. Mass communication, dissemination of information through mass media. It will reach large audiences, that is called mass communication. Public communication, public speaking is a public communication, communication aimed at the public audience such as speeches, public announcements, social media posts, these are all the public communication or information. Intercultural communication. Interaction happens among the various cultural background peoples. Non-verbal communication. Conveying messages through body languages, sign and symbols. Functions of communication. Communication serves several essential functions. Informing, sharing facts, data and other details to the other peoples or the audience. This is crucial in educational settings, news dissemination and all other purposes. Persuading, influencing others to adopt a particular viewpoint or take a specific action. This is common in advertising, political campaigns and negotiations. Entertaining, providing enjoyment and amusement. This function is prominent in the entertainment industry, including movies, music and literature. The other functions, regulating or controlling behavior, establishing norms and guidelines to manage behavior within a group or the society. This includes laws, rules and organizational policies. Social interaction, building relationships. Facilitating social connections and relationship, effective communication help build trust, empathy and understanding among individuals. Expressing emotions and personal needs, allowing individuals to express their feelings to others. Here we see some models of communications. Rhetoric model. The rhetoric model, rooted in Aristotle's work, focuses on the art of persuasion. Persuasion is influencing others' communications. It involves three key elements. The one is ethos, pathos, logos. Ethos is a credibility of the speaker. Pathos is a emotional appeal to the audience. Logos, logical arguments and evidences. Linear model. So linear model, the communication start from the center through the channel and receiver. It reaches to the receiver. The linear model views communication as a one-way process where the message is sent from the center to receiver without feedback. Key examples include Shannon and Weaver model and Laswell models. Circular model. The circular model, such as the Osgood-Scram model, emphasize two-way communication where both parties send and receive messages, allowing for feedback. Feedback is a reply of receiver to the center. So this model is also circular model. Helical model. See the helical model proposed by Frank Dance represents communication as a continuous evolving process and expands over time, starts very small and expands over time, much like a helix. This model suggests that communication is influenced by fast interactions and experience, growing more complex and its progress. Dance model emphasizes the difficulty of communication. Frank Dance uses the form of helix to describe the communication process. He helped this theory based on the simple helix, which gets bigger and bigger as it moves and grows like the helix. The main characteristics of the helical model of the communication is that it is evolutionary. Here a brief illustration of these models. Rhetoric model, speaker and the audience. Focus on the persuasion only. Linear model, center, message and receiver. This is one-way communication. Circular model, like circular, the center send a message to the channel to the receiver. Receiver give reply to the center. So the feedback also occurs. So this is the two-way model of communication. Helical model is a continuous evolving process influenced by fast interactions. Another very important elements of the communication for clear understanding of the audience or the individual. 7 C's of communication. These 7 elements are very important. The one is clarity, conciseness, consideration, completeness, courtesy, concreteness, correctness. These are all the 7 important elements for effective communication, which is easy understandable. The one is clarity. Clarity ensures your message is clear and easily understood. For example, instead of saying we need to improve our processes, say we need to reduce the time it takes to complete customer orders by streamlining our order processing system. Second one is correctness. Correctness is use correct grammar, pronunciation, facts. For example, instead of writing they are going to the meeting, write they are going to the meeting. Third one is conciseness. Conciseness is keep your message brief and to the point by point. For example, instead of saying due to the fact that we are experiencing a high volume of orders, we will need to extend the delivery time. Says due to high order volume, delivery time will be extended. That is very easy and concise. Fourth one is completeness. Tell the message completely to the receiver. Completeness. Provide all necessary informations in our message. For example, instead of saying please send the report, say please send the sales report for Q by Friday. So the data are included in this message. Fifth one is concreteness. Use specific facts and figures. For example, instead of saying sales have increased, says sales have increased by 5% the last quarter. Sixth one is coherence. Coherence is ensure your message is logical and the flow well. Example, instead of saying we need to improve our customer service, the new product launch is next week, say we need to improve our service to support the new product launch next week. Courtesy. Courtesy is be polite and considerate. Instead of saying you didn't send report, say could you please send the report when you have moment. This is courtesy. So these are all the very important elements of the communication. 7 C's of communication. Then barriers to communication. Barriers to communication. Some of the obstacles are there in our communication process. They are all physical barriers, emotional barriers, language barriers, psychological barriers and cultural barriers. So the barriers of communications are these 5 barriers. Some in additional barriers also there. The communication process, something interpret or something block the communication process. Thank you all of you.